Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about that would be caucus that may or may not happen in the future now. It's kind of up in the air, and what it means. Because there's a lot of people who want to dismiss it, take it as a joke, or just say that it's not that important because, oh, it's just that group of people and that's just the way they are and all of that stuff. I'm going to suggest that's a really bad idea. I'm going to suggest that's very unwise. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Green, to hear her tell it, had a document that was leaked by her staffers. It wasn't ready yet. It wasn't ready to go out to the public, and maybe she hadn't even read it, and maybe it was developed by, some outside group, and she just didn't even know. Sure, let's pretend we believe that for a moment. That's worse. That's worse. If it had just been her, sure, she's the space laser lady. Kind of grown to expect it from her. But the idea that it's some outside group that's willing to put out a document like that has the ear of people in Congress, oh, that's a concern. I want to know who that group is. I want to know who else in Congress they talk to. That didn't answer any questions. It created more, and they're concerning ones. The other concern is the deafening silence that came from the Republican Party once that platform surfaced. Just a bunch of overt racist garbage, and the overwhelming majority said nothing. Her colleagues, they said nothing. Sure, you had some in the leadership step forward and say, oh, this isn't us, we're the party of Lincoln, or whatever. But most were dead quiet. Because what that tells me is that had it been received well, had it been politically advantageous for them to be okay with it, they would have been, if they thought it had helped their career. That's a concern. Before the election, I said my biggest fear was that Biden wins, but not in a landslide. He doesn't win big enough to send the message that Trumpism isn't politically tenable. It's not a winning strategy. That didn't happen. He didn't win big. Not by big enough numbers to send that message. And then the other part of the fear was that because he won, people would think it was over. This document shows it's not. My big concern was that all that happened, and then the next person who picked up the mantle of Trumpism would be smart. They wouldn't broadcast every move on Twitter. They'd be effective. I want to know who this group is. It's the same stuff. Could be lifted from any of the most horrible groups throughout history, because it's the same strategy. You take the majority, you get them kicking down at some group that you can easily marginalize, and that motivates that base. The thing is, once that group gets in power, the people using that strategy, that majority that they energized, that base, they're going to demand that those in power do something about that scapegoated group. And that's when really horrible things happen. I would suggest that dismissing this as the space laser lady, that's a bad idea. We do that at our own peril. You can be outraged at the content. You should be. But you should also take it as a warning that you have to stay politically active. Because those who want that brand of authoritarianism, they are still out there. And apparently they have the ear of people in Congress. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.